Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Turkey and the MXGP of Turkey here at Afyon, the penultimate round of the FIM Motocross World Championship, round 17 of 18. We've been live all weekend long for both MX2 and MXGP, and we're about to come to a close for the final race of the afternoon. MXGP Race 2 here in Turkey, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. The first one was, well, had a bit of everything. We'll see the qualifying, we'll see the race highlights coming up in just a few moments' time. But we're in a beautiful part of the world here. It's been scorching hot as well. 30 degrees outside, a light breeze, but it's a warm breeze as well. Fans have been well entertained, and I'm sure some of them well oiled as well, but with the drink of their choice, of course. But here we are in Turkey, and the MXGP riders on track for their sighting lap ahead of their final race of the weekend. Afyon Karahisar is where we are. And the circuit, 1,725 meters long. Hard packed now, though. Despite that nice little caption of a little bit of loamy dirt. Not too much of that left on the racetrack. And the dirt that is there is obviously just a little bit loamy or a little bit squelchy. But anyway, lots of ruts out there this weekend. Some Geiser fans in the house. Let's take a look at race 1, though, before we go anywhere. Here's the highlights from earlier. Ivan Monticelli was left stranded on the gate in the background before he was able to rejoin. But it was 41, Paul Jonas with his first hole shot in MXGP. His first foxhole shot in MXGP as he took the lead. Glenn Koldenoff was right there behind him in second. Jeffrey Herlings was third, Jeremy Seawer was fourth, Geiser fifth, and then it was Arno Tonis in sixth place. Wasn't long though before Herlings was in front. He made this move on Jonas to take over the top spot. Geiser, though, not so fortunate. He fell from fourth, picked himself up in 14th, 15th place and started to carve his way through the field. That pass on Jordi Tixier got him into 12th as he started his climb through the field. Brian Bogers was passed by Arno Tonis and then by Gauthier Paulin in quick succession as they went up to 4th and 5th. Bogers eventually faded down to 13th. Van Horbing also found a way through on the Honda SR Motor Blues machine after being a little bit frustrated mid-race and not being able to find his way past the 189. Geiser, though, on a charge, but then Herlings just bobbled in a corner, lost a 3-second advantage, picked himself up just before Jonas emerged. Geiser got the better of Van Horbing, made that move for 7th, as Paulin eventually got the better of his teammate Arno Tonis after trying up until 3 laps to go in the whole race. A lonely ride for Jeremy Seawer was the lead Yamaha rider in 4th out of Paulin. And then on the final lap, Geiser made that pass on Tonis to move into 6th. Tonis ended up coming home in 7th place. But Jeffrey Herlings taking the win in race 1, his 2nd win of the season. Right, a few moments ago, Lisa Lehman was down on the grid. She caught up with Glenn Koldenoff, standing construct KTM, and Brian Bogers, Team HRC.
We are almost ready for the final race of the day, which is the 2nd MXGP race. But before we get things underway, as always, I'd like to speak to one of the riders, Team HRC's Brian Bogers. Brian, just about that first race, really. It's been a while since we've seen you up at the sharp end. I think the last time was in Mantova, in the mud. You were running in 5th. You had a good start, but I guess couldn't quite hold on to that pace.
Yeah, I was 5th for quite a long time. I think between 15-20 minutes. So I'm happy that I showed some good speed. You know, it took a while to get there, and now finally I showed that I can stay for 15-20 minutes in front. So that's good, you know. Only, yeah, I got a little bit tired, and yeah, that's a shame. That normally it doesn't need to happen, but yeah, it happened, and so yeah, that's just to focus on for next year, you know. It's but I'm happy that the speed is good, and that feeling is good. So.
It's been a pretty tough year for you, a bit up and down, hasn't it? I mean, going into the final round of the season, how would you surmise this year for you?
Yeah, what you are saying, it's a little bit up and down. Mantova was really good. I had some other good races, you know, inside the top 10 where I wanted to be. But most of the races I'm a little bit around like 15, and yeah, I doesn't want to be there, you know. But yeah, that's how it goes, and yeah, just take the positive things about all of the year. One positive thing is that I almost rode for the whole year, you know. I only needed to miss Sweden because of the shoulder, but yeah, everything is fine, and yeah, I'm happy, you know, happy that I'm riding, and yeah, I'm already looking forward for next season.
Yeah, okay, better luck. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
One of the main protagonists of that first race was Glenn Coldenoff. Glenn, it looked pretty tough out there. Just tell us about it very quickly.
Yeah, it's very hot, you know. Track is really tough, deep lines, and it's very intense, so it's definitely hard.
Some deep technical ruts really forming at this stage of the game as well.
Yeah, sure. It's really hard at the moment, but I'm looking forward to that second moto. I let it go in the end of that first moto, so I saved some energy and hope to do well the second moto.
Best of luck. Thanks, Glenn. Good luck to Glenn and all the guys. It's time for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2.
Here's how the top 5 look coming into MXGP Race 2 here, the MXGP of Turkey. Obviously, Geiser confirmed as champion. Jeremy C. We're now 45 points clear of Gauthier Paulin. And just behind him, 18 points now between Paulin and Coldenoff as we head into this Race 2. And just 9 behind them is Arno Tonus. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, still very much up for grabs over the next round and a half. 3 races, if you like, here and the 2 next week. Here's how the riders line up for MXGP Race 2. Same as it was for Race 1. Glenn Coldenoff on pole for the first time this year. Hurling second, Seawer third, Monticelli, Paulin, Van Horbik, Lupino, Strybos. Then it was Pauls Jonas, Arminis Jasikonis. Tommy Searle won't line up again. He had a knock on the shoulder in the warm-up session this morning. So more misery for Monster Energy Kawasaki Racing Team, who's starting to come good as well. Brian Boger's behind him, and then Geiser, Anthony Rodriguez, Misha Boydewal, Arno Tonus, Petr Petrov, Tenno Leok, and the rest of the guys, Jordi Tixier, Nathan Rankins, Artem Guriev, and all of that. Sean Simpson will go to the line in 27th, though, having crashed out in the qualifying race yesterday. Got cross-rutted, or he thought Jordi Tixier was going to crash, but he stayed on, but then grabbed a little handful and took out Sean, damaged his bike, wasn't able to continue despite running repairs. So Sean Simpson in Race 1 was 16th for RFX KTM, powered by PAR Homes. Number 84, Jeffrey Hurlings, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, your winner from Race 1. Only his 2nd victory this year, for obvious reasons. But Glenn Coldenoff, standing construct KTM, he's put himself in another good position for another podium finish here this weekend, the MXGP of Turkey. And Jeremy Seawer, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP. 4th in Race 1. Can he make the podium again this weekend? He had 3 in a row in Indonesia, Asia and Czech Republic. His last podium was Italy, Imola, where he was 2nd overall. Ivo Monticelli put in a fantastic performance in Race 1. He was parked on the grid as the gate dropped. And then he worked his way to 8th, but he'd already got himself up to 13th by the end of the first lap. So did all the hard work early. Gauthier Paulin, Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha. 5th. And his teammate, Arno Tonus. Just got nicked at the end there by Tim Geiser on the final lap for 6th position in that first race. Looks like everybody is in position here, and I think we're almost ready to go here. In fact, we are. Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time this weekend then. As we get ready to go racing one more time here, the MXGP of Turkey. MXGP Race 2 here at Afyon. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Who will it be that grabs that foxhole shot? Race 1, it was Pauls Jonas. Tonus getting squeezed on the exit of the gate. Was it Seawer, or was it more to the outside or inside? Was it Coldenoff? Was it Hurlings? But it's Jeremy Seawer. Oh, he just loses the lead on the exit of the turn there. Hands the advantage to Glenn Coldenoff. So the standing construct KTM rider leading the way here in Race 2. Hurlings quickly down the inside of Siwa, pushing the Yamaha back into third, but he retaliates immediately. Is that Geiser just there in fourth? It is. In fact, both the HRC machines are in there, fourth and sixth place, with Bogus just there. Right, Geiser looking to go around the outside of Siwa. Looking to strike early, and he does. Moves up into third, so Koldenhoff, Hurlings. Geiser and Bogus goes through as well. So Team HRC third and fourth. Siwa just falling back from first to fifth, and sixth and seventh. Wow, he's getting well and truly beaten up on this opening lap, Jeremy Siwa. And Paulin goes through. And so too does Jonas. Geiser, third. Well, he was third. His teammate gets the better of him briefly and then hits the brakes, and Geiser flies right by at the end of it all. So Geiser back into third. Obviously running a new helmet after writing the other one off in race one, so that's the difference between those two. But the two Dutch riders up front, just like they were in race one. It was Hurlings in race one, though. Sorry, Koldenhoff was third in the race one, wasn't he? But over the line for the first time, unofficially, of course. Koldenhoff, Hurlings separated by about a half a second. Geiser third, Monticelli up to fourth. Wow, Monticelli putting in another charge like he did in race one. Bogus fifth, Paulin sixth, as Hurlings looks to figure out a way past Koldenhoff here. Paulin 6, Siwa 7, Jonas 8, Tonis 9, Jasikonis 10, Strybos 11, Van Orbeek 12, Simpson 13, Anthony Rodriguez 14, Jordi Tixier 15, Alessandro Lupino is in 16 ahead of Misha Boy Dewal, Artem Guriev, Tano Leok and Petr Petrov. Glenn Koldenhoff saying save some energy in the latter stage of race one. Hopefully he'll get a good result as a result of that decision in race two. Running at 1,000 meters altitude here, so bikes are a little bit more laboured than they are before. Starting crucial. Some starting first, quick change into second. Right, Geiser is going to go wide and triple his way through here. Watch, there we go, and he's going to pick off, not going to pick off Jeffrey Hurlings. Wasn't close enough to do it. Fell here in race one. Hurlings all over the back of Koldenhoff as Geiser looks to go around the outside. Birthday boy today, turned 23 years old. Did Tim Geiser, Team HRC. Looking for a way past the number 84 of Jeffrey Hurlings on the Red Bull KTM. Monticelli coming into land in fourth place, ahead of Brian Bogus. So two standing contract KTMs in first and fourth position in the early stages of MXGP Race 2. Gauthier Paulin is in sixth position on the Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha, coming into land any moment now. Just ahead of Jeremy Siwa, who is starting to pick off people again. Be an interesting matchup between these two. It's obviously Tim fully fit, having had a whole season on the bike, but how travel weary and race weary is he? Hurlings, by comparison, sitting on the couch most of the year due to injuries. Just trying to ride himself back into fitness, where he did a pretty good job in race one, as he prepares for Assen, Monster Energy Motocross Nations, end of the season, about 3 weeks, 4 weeks time, 3 weeks time. Even Monticelli is closing in on these two, you know, on that standing construct KTM. You watch him, he'll just appear in the background there, number 128. Geiser launching his way over that triple again, so too Monticelli and Bogus. Paulin, Siwa and Jonas. 6, 7 and 8. Tonis just behind him in 9. As Siwa looks to go up the inside. Somehow managed to stay on two wheels, but Jeremy Siwa, wow. And he loses a position here, does he? Oh, he does. He gets endoed over the bars. So Siwa Oh, trying to pick his bike up. That would look like it. No, 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 get away. Marshall. Oh, and then pulls into Misha Boyd-Dewal. Obviously didn't want any assistance there from the Marshal at all, and made that point very, very clear. But he was just obviously trying to get himself back on track. Jeremy Seewer had a big moment through the wave section, stayed upright, put himself under pressure, and then got bumped by Jonas. Sure, we'll see that again in a moment. So Koldenhoff, Hurlings, Geiser, Monticelli, top 4, Bogus 5th, Paulin 6th, Jonas now 7th, Tonus 8th, Seewer in 16th place. That's going to hand a lifeline to Gauthier Paulin in terms of that second place in the title fight. Here he is, Jeremy Seewer. So just through this section, watch this here. So he comes out of this left-hander, tries to make a move on Paulin, back end gets out of shape there, and probably actually caught the rear wheel of Paulin. And then Jonas came in, 2 into 1, did not go, gets slammed to the ground, and then just gets wrapped up in that bike. Handlebar just behind his back of his knee there, look. So a bit of work to do then for Jeremy Seewer. Remember, after race 1, that gap between them was 45 points. Seewer and Paulin, 35 at the moment. He's on 534, Paulin on 499. But 23 minutes on the clock, plus 2 laps. There's still time for Seewer to get himself back into the race and pick off 1 or 2 more points here and there. Meanwhile, 3 laps done. Koldenhoff, about 1.3 seconds clear of Jeffrey Hurlings. But it's Tim Geiser who sets the fastest lap of the race by about 1/10 of a second over Hurlings, 2/10 over Koldenhoff, the race leader for standing construct KTM. Here's Kevin Strybos, 22. The JWR Yamaha rider in red, going after Jasikonis on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Number 27 just ahead of him. Those two fighting over 10th place. Van Horvik ahead of him in 9th, look, for Honda SR Motor Blues. Strybos 11th in race 1, just like he is now. AJ looking to go past Van Horvik at the end of the straight, though. Both go double single. AJ's already parked his Husqvarna there. And goes down the inside of Arno Tonus as well. Takes 2 positions in 2 corners. Arminas Jasikonis and Geiser down. I can only assume he folded the front going in. See the reaction there from it. Yeah, folded the front, look. Brother neck. That's it from another angle. Just goes to show how hard he was pushing. Look at him trying to keep his hand on that clutch. So Bogus now up into 4th place. Koldenhoff, Hurlings, Monticelli, Bogus, and Geiser in 5th, look, just in the background. So 2 mistakes in 2 races for the world champion. And Ivo Monticelli here in 3rd position for standing construct KTM. What a performance. His first race performance was just sensational. Parked on the gate, having stalled it. Wrong gear choice, I think it was. Talking to the team down there. And he came back strong. Looking at 4th overall at the moment. He stays where he is, and other results don't change too much around him, but that could change, we'll see. But anyway, Paulin, Jasikonis, 7th and 8th, Van Horvik 9th. Jasikonis looking to go inside again. And he might try to spook, and Paulin wasn't having any of that, was it? He heard he was there, he already started to close the gap just to protect that inside line. Just ahead of Paulin is Porsche Jonas in 6th position. Sun's starting to get low. This was one of the complaints from the riders yesterday in the qualifying race. This time of the afternoon, sun was low. The shadows were playing havoc with their visibility. You couldn't see some of the ruts properly coming into the corners, but I tell you what, look at this, 1.9 seconds. The gap between Koldenhoff and Herlings at the start of lap 5 after the race leader set the fastest lap of the race at 50.9, but Herlings already starting to close back in again. Out of the final turn. Koldenhoff, 51.8, 58, 50.8 for Herlings, fastest lap of the race. Still 19 minutes plus 2 to go. Herlings would win with a win in a second, the 25 and the 22, put him on 47 points. Koldenhoff would be second overall on 45. Jonas would be third on 37 if he stays where he is, but two Hondas here, the two HRC riders, Brian Bogers and Tim Geiser. Geiser up alongside and past his teammate to take back over 4th place, having just set the fastest lap of the race himself, 150.7. So 1/10 of a second in it between the likes of Herlings and Monticelli was a 50.87. So if you're Jeffrey Herlings and you're sitting there in 2nd position, do you try to go for the win now and make the pass and try and pull away, or do you just sit there comfortably behind someone like Glenn Koldenhoff and try to make a challenge towards the end? Because Glenn Koldenhoff is riding very, very well at the moment. 3 podiums the last 3 rounds, a 3rd and 2 wins. I don't think he can take that kind of chance, you know. And Herlings is going around the outside, but gets the door shut in his face by fellow Dutchman, the 259 Koldenhoff. Less than 17 minutes, just over 17 minutes to go. I wonder at what point Herlings will go around the outside there to try and make that pass, if it's close enough in that final turn. But Herlings fastest again at 50.5, 51.1 for Koldenhoff. Championship starting to tighten up between 3rd and 4th. Paulin and Koldenhoff here, 498, 491, 7 points that gap now. Coming into race 2, it was 18. So with Koldenhoff leading and Paulin in 7th place, that's a fair amount of points to be given away to the guy who's closing you down in the championship. Good couple of corners, though, for Koldenhoff. The gap between these two as they hit the line a moment ago, 3/10 of a second, but see Koldenhoff just starting to pull clear at the moment. 4 seconds behind them, Ivo Monticelli on the 2nd of the standing construct KTMs. Tim Geiser is 3rd for Team HRC. Brian Bogue is his teammate 4th. Jonas here, the lead Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. He is in 5th place, looking to go after Bogus of the Netherlands. Paulin just behind him for Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha, number 21 in 7th place. And then we've got Jasikonis 8, Van Hoorwijk 9, Strybos up to 10th, Atonis 11. Here's Geiser. What's the gap between him and Monticelli? About 6 seconds. Brian Bogus was pleased with his speed in race 1. 15-20 minutes in 5th place as he continues to build for next year. And all of a sudden, Glenn Koldenhoff sets the fastest lap of the race at 50.3. Herlings at 52.01. That gap now more than 2 seconds as we head into lap 8. And Jonas carves his way to the inside. Nicely done, but Bogus keeping it in there and round the outside. Turn 2, Jonas though, back up on the pegs. A little bit of cat and mouse between these two. Bit of close combat between them, but Jonas up into 5th place. Good to see the fight though from Brian Bogus, Team HRC. So you got one Rockstar Energy Husqvarna at the front of this group, another one at the back of it, trying to chase down the 21 of Gauthier Paulin. Jasikonis, look, goes to the inside. Did he fold the front then? No, he's still there. So AJ getting closer to Paulin. Paulin goes to the inside. So too does Van Horbik. Van Horbik looking to pick off a position if he can. Oh, Paulin. Back end just starting to get a little bit out of shape. Not as much as Seawers, who incidentally is back up into 13th place at the moment. So Van Horbik has found his way by Jasikonis. Briefly, and then Jasikonis responds again. So the Jerry man having a good time here, but he was frustrated in race 1. Took him a while to find his way by Brian Bogus, but eventually got himself into 9th. Another fastest lap from Koldenhoff. 2/10, 3/10 quicker than Hurlings. So again, that gap now 2.3. Here's Bogus, and there's Paulin. Decisive move to the inside for the Frenchman. He's going to have to go the long way round here at the end of the straight, where he managed to stay on the face of the jump there as he picks off Bogus for 6th position. He needs championship points. So too does Jeremy Seewer in that fight for 3rd. Not Seewer, Koldenhoff and Paulin. Koldenhoff leading the way. Paulin just trying to pick those points back. Paulin trying to close points down on Seewer, of course, the 2nd. Right, Van Horbik found his way past Bogus. And Jasikonis in the last couple of corners. So 12 minutes to go, plus 2 laps here. The MXGP of Turkey at Afyon, looking to go down the inside. Arminas Jasikonis, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, Factory Racing. Bogus doing a good job of keeping him back there, though. Right, that gap, 1.8 now between these two, as Hurlings goes quicker by about a half a second. There is the Red Bull KTM. Number 84. GP win is a GP win, but does he want to win it with a 1-1? Of course he does. Right, Geiser in 4th. Closing in slightly on Ivo Monticelli. Like he's got his act together. Bit of a seat bounce, panic rev there, and that's Monticelli just ahead of him. No, it's not. Just saw the flash of white. There's Monticelli, the other side of the jump. So Geiser still pushing on. So too is Monticelli. Monticelli, who got a 5th and a 6th in Italy at Trentino, has never finished inside the top 3 or 4 in an MXGP race. Here's Jeremy Seewer, number 91. Got Jordi Tixier behind him. So Seewer now up into 11th place. Tixier on the VHR KTM. Finished 12th in race 1. Seewer just trying to find his way back through traffic. Trying to rectify that earlier mistake. getting closer. 1.1 as they hit the line, but Koldenhoff is doing his best to keep Herlings at bay. 51.3, 50.6, respectively, for the leader and the guy chasing him. Is it going to be a mistake that determines this, or Mrs. C can't look, can't watch? See the jumps breaking down there on the exit of the turn. Nice smooth exit for Koldenhoff, but Herlings just catching an edge. A little bit of cat and mouse, hey, Dirk? Oh, Dirk Grobbelaar. Mr. Grubel keeping a watching eye on this guy. Good drive through the waves from Herlings. Look at that from out of nowhere. Throws his KTM into the outside turn, but all of a sudden, he's right back, breathing down the exhaust pipes of Glenn Koldenhoff's KTM. Watch this here. On the gas, wheel on the ground the whole time, just gets over that last one where everyone else is braking. Chucks it in. Gets on the gas early, but not able to find his way through. But despite that, Koldenhoff emerges half a second clearer of Herlings, a 51.0, 51.5. Monticelli 12 seconds further back now in third position. But Geiser is closing in on him. 54.06 and a 52.5 for Monticelli and Geiser. So all of a sudden, Monticelli in danger of losing that top three finish, but he's still going to pick up his best ever finish in a fourth place if he can stay there. 7 minutes to go. Right, here's Siwa and Bogas. So Siwa now up into 10th place. So methodically picking his way through traffic after being endoed by Jonas earlier. Here's how he did it. Into the final turn, goes inside. Gets on the power nice and early. Next man ahead of Jeremy Siwa, Kevin Strybos. There he is, JWR Yamaha in red, number 22. Good to see Strybos up there. 9th in the race at the moment. Looks like it'll be okay for 10th overall, but might be 11th if Siwa finds a way through. Oh, and Geiser has caught Ivo Monticelli. Figured he would, but look at the commitment there from Geiser. Round the outside both turns. Just letting that Honda rip as he takes third away from Monticelli. Great experience this though for Monticelli. He was already round the outside. There's how it happened. So end of the waves. He goes to the outside. Does he? Same as Herlings or not? They both committed. Yeah, and then he comes in here. He has to commit. Watch this. On the gas, full chat. Made the move in the next corner. So Geiser now up in the third. Not going to be good enough for a podium, though. 4th overall. And that is going to be only the 2nd time that he doesn't finish on the podium, Tim Geiser. 6th overall in Lombardia, Mantova. Just ahead of these guys. Koldenhoff and Herlings still separated by 1.6 seconds. Siwa finding his way past Strybos. And then Jessiconis goes down. Back end comes around on it. Who was that in the corner? Was that a back marker? Just here, around this left. Somebody was coasting as we came through there. Yeah, it was back marker. Anyway, Siwa up into 9th place. Jessiconis down to 12th from 8th. Here's Jonas. He's in 5th position for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing. Going to be on the podium, 3rd overall as well. He's got 3 points clearance over Tim Geiser. Geiser in 3rd. Well, he's 16 seconds down on Hurlings for the moment. So 3rd looking good for Jonas. Depends what happens behind him. Well, he's 5 or 6 seconds down on Monticelli. About 4 seconds clear of Paulin. So barring any mistakes, going to be back-to-back podiums for PJ. And his 3rd podium of the year. Simpson up to 14th. Here's Lupino. So Lupino on the number 77, diving up the inside of Jessiconis. So that is for 12th. Just behind them is Sean Simpson on the RFX KTM, powered by PAR Homes. Jessiconis, after that little bobble, just losing his rhythm. See that from the body language. Right, here's Hurlings. And about 2.5 minutes in which to find a way past Glenn Koldenoff. Plus 2 laps, of course. The gap was 1.7. Looks about the same as that now, doesn't it? Very similar on the splits. So 1.779 it was. The gap now 1.4. So Hurling's just trying to work something out here. He's tried all race. Is there going to be... it's going to be 4 laps to go, isn't it? So 4 laps to go. Was 1.4. You can see visibly Hurling starting to close down Koldenoff. Go back to what we said earlier. Does he want to win the GP or does he want to win it with a 1-1 and say to everybody, hey, I'm back and I'm not even 100% fit? Well, knowing Jeffrey Hurlings, inside he'll want to go 1-1. Koldenoff has been riding very well lately. Not going to be an easy guy to pass. Where is Paulin actually? Paulin up to... Paulin is in 6th place. I'm just hoping that's a timing glitch on the side of Monticelli's name, because he's showing us dropping down from 4th to 11th, but haven't seen anything to back that up just yet. There's Gauthier Paulin. No, back to normal. Monticelli still there in 4th. Jonas 5th. Paulin 6th. Van Horvik 7th. There he is on the Honda. The privateer. Jerryman. Come away from here with 8th overall as it stands right now. Nothing in it between these two. A fastest lap, personal fastest lap for Jeffrey Hurlings by a 10th, a 50.4. So only 2 tenths slower than the fastest lap of Koldenoff a few laps ago. 1.3 the gap as they came over the line, but you don't need us to tell you that. 3 to go. Different line choices there. Hurlings staying pretty much centre of the track. Koldenoff out to the right, taking more of a swing towards that left-hand turn, and then trying to set himself up in a slightly different way, but he's 2 KTMs. 20 seconds clear of Tim Geisler's Team HRC factory Honda now. Here he is, Tim Geisler. This is the corner where he fell earlier in the race. Just rushed it, lost the front going in. What was his lap time last time around? 53. Oh yeah, this was the turn, wasn't it? The other side of the monster jump into the triple. Rushing his way through there. Into the waves. Caught him out in race 1. Got about 5 seconds back to Monticelli behind him. So Monticelli, 5th overall this weekend. Going to be tied on points with Paul Ann and Siwa. So Siwa might have something to say about that. He is now up into 8th. Big handful of gas there for Herlings. Watch this. Back end comes around on him. So 2 to go. Jeffrey Herlings just sets the fastest lap of the race. 1:49.9. The only rider to go sub 50. Can Coldenhoff hold on? 5th in the race at the moment for Paul Jonas. Going to be good enough for 3rd overall on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. He'll be pleased with that. So too will team boss, Mr. Peronen. Right, sun getting low. Visibility not great when you turn left in corners like that. Try telling Jeffrey Herlings that though. Again, looking to make a move around the outside at this, and he might force his way. Well, he's executed that twice now, hasn't he? And rehearsed it twice. Yet to pull it off though. Same again. Coldenhoff knew he was there though. He almost had a sneaky look, didn't he? But he's putting himself under pressure now, is GC. Over the line as we head into the final lap. 2 tenths in it between Coldenhoff and Herlings. Coldenhoff trying to get on the gas early as he tries to pull clear on this final lap, but these two are tied together with a piece of elastic. Short little tabletop at the end of the straight there. Right, Coldenhoff and Herlings. Who's your money on? Traffic just ahead in the form of Tano Leop, riding with a slight knee niggle on the A1M Husqvarna. He is in 18th place. Moves over, lets the guys get on with it. Great battle between the two Dutchies though. Just 3 weeks out from the Monster Energy Motocross Nations at Assen on home turf. So the Dutch fans will be loving this. Nice little line there from that inside for Coldenhoff. But has he gone too wide? And Herlings gets alongside. But he doesn't get the drive, but he's going to get the line here at the end of the straight, and he'll hit the brakes. Or he doesn't, he goes to the outside. Steals it with about 5 corners to go. Has Coldenhoff got anything left? Jeffrey Herlings times it to perfection. Going to get his head down now, 2 corners to go. And Jeffrey Herlings, wow. Talk about taking it to the line and right the way to the wire. Out of the final turn, Herlings goes 1-1 here in MXGP. And he's going to be super pumped about that. And, well, it's only taken him 2 races to get back there, but he's probably far from 100%. But he won't care about that. All he cares about is getting back to victories. Back-to-back race wins here, and a Grand Prix victory for Jeffrey Herlings. sees him move finally to 85 Grand Prix wins. Watch this here. Got the drive from the inside. Koldenhoff tried to out-drag him on that standing construct KTM, but in the end he realized, well, he's either going to go tight or inside. But he just buried that KTM into the outside line there. The pass was already done. And the body language there from Koldenhoff. Okay, you got me. Final lap. He'll be disappointed to have lost that on the final lap. But 10 out of 10 for Jeffrey Hurlings for the commitment there around the outside. And he goes on to win the race by just over 2 seconds from Glenn Koldenhoff. Third overall, third in the race, Geiser. Fourth, Monticelli. Fantastic ride for him on the 128. Fifth, Jonas. Sixth, Paulin. 7, Van Horebeke. 8, Siwa. 9, Strybos. 10, Tixier. And the overall Grand Prix will belong to Jeffrey Hurlings. The bullet is back, and here he is with Lisa Leyland.
Jeffrey Hurlings, congratulations. Your second GP back, and already you're going 1-1. Perfectly timed race there. You kept us all entertained till the final lap.
I had that line, and I raced it for the last lap. You know, I knew I had to be on this rear wheel to do it, and I made a mistake, man. It's unbelievable how I came through, you know. In January, shed up my foot. Doctor said I could possibly never ride again and would have pain for the rest of my life, and I came back 4 months later and managed to win a moto with a broken ankle, and now I'm coming back once again. And you know, Sweden was really struggling with AMPA, but now came out with a perfect 1-1. And damn, Glenn rode amazing. So never could out Red Bull KTM racing team. And I just want to thank the man above. Thank you so much, and my mom and everybody that's stuck behind me. Thank you so much. All my sponsors, thank you.
Great to have you back.
He had to work for it though, didn't he, Jeffrey Hurlings? And as he said, he knew he had a line. He had to get it absolutely perfect. He thought he made a mistake, but he managed to pull it off in the end. And he goes away from Turkey here with another 1-1 victory. Just like he did last year. In the same venue, in the same class. Big win for Jeffrey Hurlings and Red Bull KTM here in Turkey. Official confirmation then, race 2. Jeffrey Hurlings your winner. Glenn Koldenhoff second. Tim Geiser third. Ivo Monticelli 4. Pauls Jonas 5th. Gauthier Paulin got to 6th. Van Horebeke 7. And Siwa 8. Strybos 9. And Tixier 10. Bogus 11. Alessandro Lupino 12. Jassiconis 13. Anthony Rodriguez 14. Arno Tonis, Tano Leok, Petr Petrov, Nathan Renkins, Artem Guriev and Sean Simpson. Overall, Jeffrey Hurlings 1-1. Koldenhoff with a 2-5. And Pauls Jonas with a 3... Sorry, with a 3-2, Glenn Koldenhoff, and a 2-5 for Pauls Jonas. Geiser, 4th overall. Only the 2nd time off the podium this year for the world champion. Geiser 4th, Monticelli 5th overall for him. Equals his best finish from Trentino, his best career finish as well, and a 4th place finish, a best race win for Monticelli. Geiser on 7:44, Siwa on 5:42, 43 points clear of Paulin. So is that as it was at the start of the weekend? Yes, it is. But Glenn Koldenhoff is closing in on Gauthier Paulin as Honda closing in on that Manufacturers' Championship. Take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? Which way is that going? Jeremy Siwa. So Siwa with his 4th foxhole shot of the season. Puts him up into 3rd in that classification, behind Tony Cairoli and Tim Geiser. Oh, it's getting ready for the podium here then in Turkey. Geiser fans are going to be disappointed because he's not going to be on the podium, but they don't care. They'll be there anyway. But he will get their gold plate there, of course. Well, what a fascinating end to race 2 here in the MXGP of Turkey. Jeffrey Hurling's just stealing the limelight, and the thunder from Glenn Koldenoff on the standing construct KTM, who was looking at trying to make it, what, 4 race wins in the last 6 races. But third overall, back-to-back podiums for this guy here. Third in Sweden, third here in Turkey, with a second and a fifth. Paul Jonas, Rockstar Energy, Husqvarna Factory Racing. Glenn Koldenoff disappointed not to have come away with that race win for standing construct KTM in race 2, but he is overall second with a third and a second. But Jeffrey Hurling's Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, 2 wins. And you can see what it means to those guys down there as well, as he picks up win number 85. Remember, he rounded out the season last year on win number 84. He finally breaks that cycle now. 85 wins for the Bullet. Dirk Grubel, good to see you back up there, my friend. So third overall. Third overall, Paul Jonas. Rockstar Energy, Husqvarna Factory Racing. Solid performance from him. Second overall, Glenn Koldenoff, standing construct KTM. 4 podiums for the season, all 4 of them coming in the last 4 rounds. Belgium, third overall, 2 wins, Italy and Sweden, second overall here in Turkey. And Jeffrey Hurling's, though, your overall winner. And the Minister of Youth and Sports of the Republic of Turkey handing out all 3 trophies to our winners. Dirk Grubel takes the winner's trophy from Martin de Graaf on behalf of, yeah, finally, Valentina, finally. Two Dutch flags and a Latvian. Anyway, national anthem time for Jeffrey Hurlings in a moment. But before that, we need to see Tim Geiser, who is getting ready to collect the gold plate. Tough weekend for him after that crash in race 1. But it has been a fantastic season for him, hasn't it? Gold plate. His pants down here. Appreciative of his hard work as always. Anyway, there's your top 3. Jeffrey Hurlings, Glenn Koldenoff and Paul Jonas. The MXGP of Turkey, round 17. National anthem time now, though, for Jeffrey Hurlings. Jeffrey Hurlings, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, Glenn Coldenough, Standing Construct KTM, and Paul Jonas, Rockstar Energy, Husqvarna Factory Racing. Your top three here this weekend, round 17 of the FIM Motocross World Championship in the MXGP of Turkey. That's how they finished here. We will talk to the top three in just a few moments' time, but before that, let's sit back and enjoy some of the best moments from race 2.
Jeffrey Hurlings, massive congratulations going 1-1. Great to have you back. We saw you struggle in Sweden a couple of rounds ago, but how difficult was it for you to hold the pace for 2 full motos this weekend at your stage of fitness?
You know, it was getting better and better. You know, in Sweden, I think it was my 6th day on the bike, and we actually decided on Thursday evening we were going to go on Thursday or something, so wasn't prepared at all. And then just came too quick to lead the races by then. But now we're another 2 weeks in, like 3 or 4 weeks on the bike now, and it's amazing what I could do in such a short time. Obviously, I know some of the top guys are injured, but still a GP win is a GP win, and it's never easy. You know, those guys are fast. So been a crazy weekend. Super happy with my win. Want to thank the whole Red Bull KTM racing team crew, all my personal sponsors. Thank you so much, and see you next week in China.
Thank you. Second overall today, we have Glenn Coldenough. Glenn, you held on to that lead for as long as you could, but the pressure was really on the final laps. Bittersweet, but it's great to see you on the podium again.
Thank you. I don't like it to get passed in the last lap, you know. I really need those points because I still have some side at the 3rd place in the championship, and I'm really pushing hard for that. But anyway, I think it was another great day, and it's good to see 2 Dutch flags on the box, so I'm happy.
Great job. Thanks, Glenn. Third overall today, we have Paul Jonas. Paul's back-to-back podiums for you, your first Foxhole shot in MXGP. You told us at the start of the weekend you're feeling more comfortable on the 450, and it really is starting to show.
Yeah, you know, we've been working really hard with the Rockstar Energy Factory Racing team, and it's been a tough way moving on to MXGP class for MX2, but you know, now finally I start to feel better and better. So you know, the hard work is paying off, and now it's nice to get back-to-back podiums for sure. It was nice to get the first hole shot and lead, I think, half of the lap or something. So second motor also, actually, I got a pretty decent start, but made a few mistakes in the first lap, which cost me a little bit. So, but I'm feeling really good, and looking forward for last GP in China.
Okay. Thank you.
China just around the corner in a week's time in Shanghai, but number 41, Paul Jonas, Rockstar Energy, Husqvarna Factory Racing, back-to-back podiums. His 3rd in the class now this season. He was 2nd overall, wasn't he, of course, earlier on in Lombardia, but 3rd in Sweden, 3rd here in Turkey. Looking more comfortable and relaxed on the bigger bike. 2nd overall this weekend, Standing Construct KTM's Glenn Coldenough. He said he didn't want to get past because those 3 points could be vital for that fight for 3rd in the championship. Jeffrey Hurlings, though, came back. He was masterful once again. It was difficult, it wasn't easy by any means, but he's slowly working his way back to fitness. What can he do next week when we go to China? Well, he'll enjoy his 85th Grand Prix victory here from China this weekend. Congratulations, Jeffrey Hurlings of Red Bull KTM, on a fine performance here today. Well, we are out of time here. Thanks for watching us this weekend at MXGP of Turkey here at Afyon. We will do it all again in a week's time when we go to China for the final round of the 29 season. We'll see you then. Bye for now.